Do.
Tonight is Thursday, October 26, 2017. Yes, people, we are live after missing last week. Tonight on GXYZ, we're going to discuss Kim Zolciak versus NeNe Leakes. Tamar Braxton files for divorce. NeNe's in the news for something else versus a heckler at one of her comedy shows. And our R&B singer says she voted for Trump. All that and more tonight on GXYZ.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to GXYZ. It is October 26, 2017, and it's your hosts, Donovan and Jason. How are you, Jason?
I'm doing great that you didn't mess up my name and say Michael like you did a few weeks ago.
I know. I think my mind's a little better this week. I don't know what's going on with me last time. Last 2 weeks, rather. Thanks for listening, everybody. If you're listening live, we appreciate it. If you're listening in the archives, we appreciate it. And by the way, news today is that we are now going to be also broadcasting on iHeartRadio. So if you...
Yay! Drum roll. Well, maybe we should get the drum roll before you said that, but yeah.
Well, it's a good thing, and it's yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you. That's so kind, everybody. Oh my god, that was so nice. So anyway, we want to say thank you to people who've been listening. So we'll be in 72 hours from now. It should go live on iHeartRadio. So be sure to check us out there. By the way, if you are listening to our show live, be sure to go to gxyz.com/listen live, and to listen to the show live, listen-live actually. And, that's the best place to listen. You can also go to the chat room there, or you can go to Spreaker.com and look for GXYZ show, and, you'll find us there as well. And by the way, also, just to be clear, if you go to Spreaker.com, you'll see some of our older shows. Well, shows up until today, rather, on there under Off Limits, but you'll also see it under GXYZ. So from now on, we'll be broadcasting under GXYZ's own Spreaker show. So be sure you look under there instead from now on. So just FYI. So anywho, thanks for listening. And tonight we're talking about, as usual, whatever is on our mind. We have some topics about politics, some entertainment news, and some GLBTQIA news. That's a mouthful. And Jason wants to give us some background on his DMV experience, or he calls it the DMV. I call it DPS, but anyway. Let's talk about the gospel thing first. You said a gospel R&B group says that she voted for Trump. But what do you mean by that?
Okay, so there's an R&B. I'm not sure if you've heard of them or not, but they are an R&B gospel group. They have really good music. When you listen to their music doesn't sound like the typical hip. It's very, appealing to younger demographic, type of thing. So there's sisters. One is named Erica Campbell. The other one is named Tina Campbell. Erica Campbell's currently doing a solo project. She's doing very good right now. Tina Campbell's doing her own project, and it's not doing too good. Well, it was doing good up until she came up with this. So she did an interview with a magazine, I believe, for that magazine, and she said that she voted for Trump because she believed in they had the same Christian values. I'm like, really?
She has the same Christian values. First of all, I was like, the same Christian values? That was right. Mm-hmm. Right. Okay. What does that mean?
She has the same, pretty much that, she says she shares the same beliefs as Trump when it comes to Christian values. I don't know.
Trump does not have any Christian values.
according to her, he does.
Okay.
So that's, pretty much it. So since then, she was currently on tour. Her tour has been postponed. She came up with a statement. I guess her publicist came up with a statement on Instagram and her Facebook page saying that, the show's been postponed until 2018 because honestly, we just don't have the supporters that we need. And I'm thinking to myself, just probably all of your supporters voted against Trump, or didn't vote for Trump, rather. So it's like, now since your core demographic doesn't like Trump and you just came out and said that you voted for Trump, I'm pretty sure that has a lot to do with it.
Are these people white or black? Black, I assume.
These are black. They're black. Yeah.
And they say that Trump shares their Christian values. Okay.
She says that she voted for Trump because she feels that they have the same Christian values and she can relate to his Christian values.
Well, let's look at this. What exactly has Trump done that's been Christian?
Your guess is as good as mine.
I can't think of one thing that Trump has done that has been Christ-like, and that's what it means to be a Christian. So Trump is not I would not ever see, if Jesus Christ existed, and if he did now, and he were running for office, he wouldn't make fun of a handicapped person. He wouldn't shun the Jews and the gays and people that are outcast in society in general, and he wouldn't be racist and So I don't see anything about Trump that's Christian-like. So if you're voting for Trump because he quote unquote shares your Christian values, then you might want to look in the fucking mirror, because if those are your values, then you're not much of a Christian.
Well, then plus I don't like her because they have a reality show that comes on. I don't watch it, but she is such a fucking diva. I don't like her.
This is not the twins, is it?
They're not twins, they're sisters.
Oh, I was thinking of Tia Campbell or whatever her name is.
No, you're thinking of Tia and Tamara?
Yeah, that's not them, right?
No, not them.
Oh, okay.
No, not them. Not them.
Thank God. Okay.
Yeah, so on the show, she's always a diva. She's always, being some diva bitch or whatever. And then, her marriage is falling apart. Her husband is, sleeping with other women, and supposedly they say he got a big dick and he's sleeping with every woman in the area, and even a man or two allegedly. And I want to say allegedly because I don't want them coming after us. But that's what happens. Here's the thing I don't like about church. They always say that they so high and mighty and holy and all this other shit, and I'm like, y'all be the messiest fucking people around half of the time.
Yep.
Y'all husbands fucking around, fucking some other bitch, and or maybe fucking some dude on the side, allegedly.
Yeah,
like I want to say that, but because that's what's out there in the reports. They're saying that your husband out there fucking some dudes every now and then too. So so all they have to say here to him is, do you like it? Do you like some dick every now and then?
I sure do.
But but I mean, the thing is, but here's my thing. I'm trying to figure out, why did she even need to tell us this in the first place? Your career was fine until you told us this, and maybe she felt like
it's not new. It's not exactly news, Jason, that someone who is African American and Christian, evangelical, obviously they're gospel singers and all that kind of crap, are going to vote for that candidate. So.
But my thing is, why did you have to tell us now out the blue? I mean, this came like out the blue.
Maybe she's trying to support her Jesus Christ, and I don't know. Maybe he's like their Messiah, and they're trying to support him. I don't know. I have no fucking clue.
That's why her career is failing, because of shit like this, and her sister's career is thriving. So.
Well, I have no clue who these people are anyway, but I wouldn't want to know them anyway.
Pull up one of their songs.
I don't want to.
The one that I just want you to listen to it to see what it sounds like.
I don't want to. No, I don't want to give any of these bitches any kind of props or any kind of airtime, even in our small little audience.
I just want you to listen to it. I'm not trying to give them any airtime. I just want you to
I'm not listening
get an example of what their music sounds like.
I don't care.
That's all it was. Okay, well, anyway.
I'm sorry.
So yeah, her tour has been postponed, but I feel like when they say postponed, I feel like that's just like a keyword for being canceled.
Usually.
Because I'm like, why would you start in 2018?
Unless you're Janet Jackson.
In 2018, no one's going to care to go to your concert, or your concert at that time.
Right, unless you're Janet Jackson.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So, toodles, bitch.
Whatevs. Well, let's talk about entertainment news. Okay, so Atlanta starts back in a couple weeks. I think November 5th or something. Isn't that right?
Yeah, I believe it's November 5th. Yes,
when we're talking about Housewives of Atlanta, by the way, I'm sorry, I should have been more specific. Housewives of Atlanta starts back in a couple weeks, yeah. And so you said there's some things going on between Kim Zolciak and NeNe Leakes, which is not news because that's always the case. But what's going on now?
So supposedly Kim and NeNe are at each other's throats, which is nothing new. Supposedly, Kim's daughter Brielle went to NeNe's house and went to her bathroom and went on Instagram and said that NeNe had roaches in her house and that
Kim
type
did?
of thing. So then when Brielle did.
Oh, Brielle went into Nene's house and said she had roaches. Okay.
Yeah, she went in her bathroom, and I guess she went put up this Instagram video, said that Nene had roaches in her bathroom, and there were supposedly roaches crawling around. I don't know if anything. I don't know how true that is, because Nene doesn't like the type to be living with bugs and roaches. But
anybody can have a roach occasionally. I mean, it's not like it was like swarming. Right. Was it swarming with roaches, like just all over the walls, or was it just like a roach?
No. It was maybe like it was like maybe 2 or 3.
Well, that's still a lot.
But the thing is, in the video, but they're in Georgia. Georgia is known for water bugs and insects that come in from us. I mean, we're in Texas. We get that all the time. We get spiders and shit. Mm-hmm. I mean, I just killed a spider in my bathroom like last night. That doesn't mean my house is infested with spiders. Right. I mean,
exactly.
But that's the thing. So when they did that, Nene came out with a response and said, "This is why I love Nene so much." It was I don't know. I did chuckle a little bit when she said this, but Nene said, "Well, if the roaches were in my bathroom, that's because they crawled out of your pussy."
Oh my God! Are you kidding me? Oh my God!
She said that. She said that she told Brielle that, and there were a few people that were like, "Why are you attacking Brielle? Brielle is a child." I'm like, she's like,
not a child. She's like 20 years old. Exactly. She's an adult now.
She's like, and she. Exactly. She was like, she wants to come to my bathroom and stir some shit that's not true. She's like, I'm gonna come for her. And Nene said, if they were my roaches, bitches, because you came over there and brought them and they crawled out of your pussy. I said, damn.
If you can't take the roaches, stay out of her bathroom. I mean, you know what I mean? That's hilarious. She's fucking hilarious. I love that she did that. Now what did Kim say about it?
Exactly. And now, when Kim found out, Kim got all upset, as I guess any mother would, I guess. But so since that's happened, she's come out, and now she's saying that, on the show she doesn't want to film with Nene because her life feels threatened.
Oh,
and
please.
That type of thing. I'm like, bitch, you don't feel threatened by Nene. You've been knowing Nene for 10 fucking years. Y'all have been about 1,000,006 fucking arguments. She's
threatened because she said roaches are coming out of her daughter's pussy. That's threatening. No, it's rude, but it was just a reaction to what her daughter said. But it's not threatening. That's bullshit. She's not threatening.
She said, well, according to her, she's saying that she's, going to take legal action because.
What kind of legal action?
And child,
you can't sue somebody for saying the roaches came out of your pussy.
But then she said, she was like, well, I don't want to film with Nene because I'm afraid for my life and that type of thing. I'm like, bitch, stop lying. Y'all have been in like I said, 1,000,006 fucking arguments.
And besides, Nene couldn't get anywhere near her with those fucking lips as big as they are. I mean, she's not gonna hurt her. She's like fucking protection advices now. God.
And Brielle looks a mess. Have you seen the way she looks? She looks like
a blow-up doll.
She looks like you're right, a fucking blow-up doll.
She does, and so does her mother. I mean, both of them. It's horrible, and they are pretty attractive women naturally. Yet they just fucked their faces up. They just did too much, too much.
Right. Yeah, both of them did. I mean, Nene doesn't look as bad as Kim, but I do agree that they did have some.
Oh no, I'm not talking about Nene. I was talking about Brielle and Kim. I was talking about
Brielle and Kim. And yes, Brielle and Kim.
I think Nene looks okay.
I still remember when Andy was like. I remember that thing when Kim was on Watch What Happens Live, and Andy was like, "So what kind of work did you have done?" She was like, "I didn't have any work done."
He has asked her that question almost every time she's been on the Watch What Happens Live. He's asked her the last 3 times, and she's like, "Oh my God, how many times are you going to ask me that question?" He says people are asking that question, and it's probably true because everybody thinks it and knows she's had work done. But she said, "I haven't done it. It's just my contouring and That's all she's ever said she's ever had done. I think she said she had her nose done a long time ago.
Exactly. And then Andy always gives her that fucking side eye like, bitch, yeah, right.
Whatever, right? I know. Anyway, and also that happened this week on from you don't watch it, but the Housewives of Dallas, Cameron Westcott, she's the one that looks like a Barbie doll, and she looked different on the show too. And my husband and I were watching it, and we're like, she looks different. I think she had work done or something to her face. And towards the end of the show, Andy's like, well, we got a lot of people tweeting in saying your face looks different. And what happened to your face? She's like, I haven't done anything. He worked to my face. She's like, it's just contouring. I think it's just the contouring. She said the same
Why
thing.
do they all say that? Why do they all say it's only contouring?
I don't know, but if that's all you have to do to get to look like you've had plastic surgery, then everybody will be fucking doing it, because that's all you got to do is contouring, please. Anyway, it's bullshit. But I don't know why in this day and age, almost everybody that can afford to have plastic surgery does. So, or some kind of procedure of some sort. And so why be so embarrassed by it? I mean, we know you've had something done. Your face is different. We can tell. We see you all the time. It's obvious to us as viewers. You look different, and you're sitting there denying that you've had any work done. I mean, just fucking admit it, bitch. We know you had it done.
Exactly. Either that or you just got some really bad lighting going on.
Please. It takes more than bad lighting to do that.
But other than that, I mean, I was like, people will respect you more if you just told the truth and be like, yeah, I had some work done.
I know.
And so what?
So would I. But what else? Anyway. Okay, well, what about, let's talk about the, sorry about that. Oh, sorry. What's that? I'm sorry.
Well, I want to segue into NeNe since we're still talking about this.
Oh, you want more NeNe stuff? Okay, continue.
Okay, so NeNe was doing one of her comedy shows. I've never been to it. I hear it's funny. I've never been to it. I don't know if I want to. I don't know if I would want to go see NeNe at a comedy show. I don't think. I mean, I know she has like some, things to say, but I don't find her like as a comedian. So
yeah, that's sort of like Madonna has a stand-up act now. I'm like, bitch, I don't want to see you make jokes. I mean,
exactly. NeNe, I want to see you just, reading people and shading people like you normally do. That's what you're known for.
Well, maybe that's what her act is. Maybe that's what she does. You know.
I mean, that's pretty much what her act is. So pretty much she was somewhere. I forgot what city she was in, but she was doing her show, and the heckler made a comment saying that she wasn't funny or whatever the case.
Mm-hmm.
Which, they have the right to say that. I mean, here's the thing. Whenever you have a heckler at a comedy show, you have to be prepared that they are going to go in on you and say whatever the fuck they want to say. Okay. So the thing was, the heckler said something. They didn't have the exact words or whatever. I think they just said that she wasn't funny or whatever the case may be. And NeNe replied back and said, I hope you get raped by your Uber driver.
Yes, I read this.
Now, here's the thing. And then everyone was in an uproar. First of all, they said that you can't be promoting rape because they said that she was promoting rape. And they say you really shouldn't wish that upon anybody. But then also, people who happen to drive full-time and part-time for Uber got offended because they felt like that she was putting, Uber drivers into this category, saying that they're all criminals and they're rapists and that type of thing, which everyone knows. I mean, yeah, you have a few bad apples with any company.
Uber drivers or rapists and stuff. I mean, yes. I mean, they've had, exactly like you're just saying, they've had some instances, but that's just nature of the job and stuff. People, you get that kind of people.
But I mean, the majority of them, I've taken Uber plenty of times and I've never felt threatened or anything like that.
I've taken Uber, I've taken Lyft, and I have a friend, his name is Brandon, who drives an Uber and he's been driving it for years, and he has his own business as well as drives an Uber on the side just for extra money, and he's been doing it for years, and he's the nicest guy in the world. I mean, that's just bullshit. Whatever.
Right. So I'm not. That's just a small percentage. I mean, you might hear of an Uber incident maybe once or twice a year that makes national news, but the majority of the Uber drivers they go through thorough background checks and all that shit. So that type of thing. So, for her, and then, like I said, so pretty much they were upset because, they said that she's promoting rape. And then another part, Uber drivers was getting upset because they said that, she's saying that all, Uber drivers are criminals, rapists. Cause she was like, oh, when she's like, when you get in your Uber, you're risking your life. I'm like, NeNe, no, you're not.
It's not you're not risking your life getting in an Uber any more than you are risking your life getting in a taxi or getting in any other person's car.
Exactly.
Who a service person you don't know. It's exactly the same thing. Just because one person is in a yellow cab and one person's in their own vehicle.
It's no different than getting on a city bus. It's the same fucking thing.
Well, a bus, you have a lot of people around you, so it's a little different in that sense. But I mean, and yes, you're right. It's all the same because you're putting your life in the hands of a stranger in one way or the other. So whatever.
Right.
Anyway. So okay. Well, did you watch Will and Grace tonight?
I did not. It's on my DVR.
Okay, bitch. Listen. Every time we do this show, we do it on Thursday. And every time we do this show, we want to talk about Will and Grace. You're a week behind. So you need to catch your ass up and start watching the show on the same night.
Bitch.
And what the fuck are you doing? You're not working. What the fuck are you doing, bitch? I don't know where you're going at midnight every night and everything else, but you're going somewhere.
At midnight, my ass is in my bed watching
No, you said the other night, you said, we can't do the show or whatever last week because I'm
No, what was I doing? No, I was with a friend
getting a car
do some stuff. I didn't get home until like 11 something.
Like I said. Anyway, you need to start watching. If we're going to review it, we need to review tonight's show from now on, not last week's, but continue. Let's talk about last week's show.
What was last week's show?
God, do you not remember what happened?
Oh no. So last week's show was when
Elliot.
Yes, Elliot brought his son and
Jack's grandson.
Yes, that was hilarious. When he was like, "Can I call you Grandpa?" And I thought that was hilarious. And Will was like, "Oh my God, you have to." I was like, Jack is going to fall out and crack into a million pieces on the floor.
The thing is, though, that episode was touching. Though it was touching.
It really was. Good. But you know, Jack is always trying to like fight his youth.
Yes, exactly.
And he's so afraid of getting old and everything. And I think just the word grandpa just made him just shatter into a million pieces.
Right.
So, but that was a really good episode. I liked it. It
was very good because it was talking about how Elliot's wife was really conservative or whatever, and he moved to Texas or whatever, and she was like Texan conservative Republican, and wasn't into gay people and that kind of stuff, and didn't want him around Jack because he said he's going to end up like Jack if he's around Jack, and so he ended up putting him in a fucking conversion camp for gay kids. And then the funniest thing was the two camp leaders were gay in real life. They were
right.
Sue, what's her name? Oh my god. Oh my god. Sue. It's Sue from Glee. What's her fucking name?
Hold on.
I am so old.
Is it Jane something?
No, maybe Jane Lynch. Jane Lynch. That's it. Jane Lynch, and then Andrew Reynolds from Girls and from other shows as well. But anyway, they were the camp leaders, and they were so fucking hilarious because they're both gay. And Andrew Reynolds had the hots for Will. And of course, he was trying to repress it because he's in a straight camp. But it was just funny though. It was hilarious. It was really good.
It really was.
But yeah,
was. And
this week's is really good too. But
when are they going to bring back Rosario?
I thought I'd discuss this with you. Maybe I didn't. Rosario's not coming back to the show. The woman who plays her, I was on the tip of my tongue. I can't remember her name. Sherry something.
Shelley Morrison.
Shelley Morrison, thank you. She's not coming back to the show. And before it even came back to the air, they tried to get her to come back, and she said she's retired from acting and she just wants to relax and be with the grandkids now, and she's tired of acting. She's just tired, period. She just wants to relax in her old age, and she doesn't want to do anymore. She's like 60 something. So she's not coming back. Nope, no Rosario. That's why you haven't seen her. She's there in the show in terms of they've written her in, like her character is there because Karen has referred to her and she's like the head of the staff or whatever, but she's not. You're not going to ever see her on the show. Anyway, let's move on. Let's talk about, first of all, I want to talk about, you know who Sam Smith is, right? I'm sure you know who Sam Smith is.
Of course.
Okay, I know. The singer, and he's gay and openly gay or whatever, but he just came out as gender fluid this week in an interview with London Sunday Times, and he said, people don't know this, but when I was 17, I remember becoming obsessed with Boy George and Marilyn Monroe. There was one moment in my life when I didn't own a piece of male clothing, really. I would wear full makeup every day at school, eyelashes, leggings, and Doc Martens, and huge fur coats for 2.5 years. I got teased a lot for it, but there were people also respecting me for walking around like that in school. Anyways, I don't know what the title would be, but I feel just as much woman as I am man. So interesting. I would not have ever suspected him as being gender fluid at all.
Me neither. I just saw a picture of him recently within the past week or so. He's lost a lot of weight.
Oh yeah, he looks good. He's lost a lot of weight. He's a little skinny, over skinny, I think now, but yeah, he's lost a lot.
Yeah, sometimes I don't like. See, when people lose weight, I don't like it. Like if you want to slim down, that's fine. But I hate it when people lose too much weight.
Yeah,
Jennifer Hudson was one of them. She lost like too much weight, and then she gained a little bit of it back. But good. At one point, she looked like a fucking bobblehead.
That's what Oprah Winfrey looked like too when she lost all that weight that time in the 90s.
Star Jones too.
Yeah, Star Jones is the worst. She was the worst.
But Star Jones is like it's like she's gaining all her weight back. Have you seen her recently?
Well, good for her. Fine.
Star Jones is getting big again.
Anyway, but he says he's gender fluid, and I think that's great. But do you think that? I mean, have you ever known anyone who considers himself like gender fluid that way, or I don't know anyone that considers himself gender fluid. No. Do you know anyone who's trans? I know trans people. Do you know trans people?
Do I know any trans people? I don't know. I don't.
Oh, okay. Well, you should know some. You should get to know some.
I would like to know some, but I mean, I don't know any.
They're awesome people, and I think that just like with being gay, I think being gay gives people a certain sense of self and a certain sense of I don't know.
Humbleness.
Did you say humbleness? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Hell no. I don't know a lot of humble gay people. No. I was gonna say a certain sense of strength, a certain kind of strength I think you get from being gay. And I think there's a different kind of strength you get from being transgender, because I think that it's a whole different kind of journey than it is from being gay, I think. But anyway, and so I just think that they're great people. I love transgender people, and most of them. There's some transgender people I can't stand too. I mean, of course, just like everybody else, there's gay people I can't stand. There's transgender people, black people, whatever. But
you don't like Laverne Cox, do you?
I do not like her because of the way she talks. She just enunciates everything, and oh my gosh, thank you so much. I can't talk. I can't deal with her. I just can't. I don't know what her deal is. I can't stand her. And that's the only thing about her. I just don't like the way she speaks. It drives me fucking crazy. I think she looks good. She looks good. She's a good actress on Orange is the New Black, but she annoys the fuck out of me.
Yeah, because she's always dressed. When I see her at award show, she dresses down.
Oh yeah,
but yeah, her voice is a little slightly bothersome.
And it's just as little, and I can't even do it. It's just a little, I can't do it. I'm trying, but I can't do it. But yeah, it's annoying. Anyway, but I think that it's great he came out as that and whatever, but I think it'll help some people who are gender fluid. But it does kind of confuse people sometimes, because I know that I've known people in the past who've told me that they want to be called they or them for a single person. So instead of saying him or her, for this person, you say they.
They would be called they because they're gender fluid?
Yes. So you don't use any male or female pronouns. You only use non-binary pronoun. So it would be like, you're saying about, oh, I was talking to them the other day and they said blah, blah, blah. You wouldn't say him or her. You'd say they or them.
That's going to be too. That's
the way they prefer to be addressed. And that's what I've read anyway. And that's what I've been told. And I think that's comfortable for them. Fine. But it is extremely confusing for me, because when I'm trying to talk to them, it's like, or about them or whatever. It's like, really, you have to think about it.
Exactly. And what happens if you're trying to talk about them in a third person?
They or them. It's still they or them.
But they're going to be like, the third person will be like,
who are you talking about?
They? It's only one person. Why you keep saying they?
That's Jeff. Well, it's like you would say, like, oh, so-and-so said blah, blah, blah. Like, my mom said this, da-da-da-da. And then she said blah, blah, blah. You'd say, well, they said blah, blah, blah. And then they said blah, blah, blah. So
exactly. So, like, for example, if I'm talking to you about Sam Smith, and I said, most people say, oh, well, Sam said, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. But then I have to say, well, they said A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And then the other person will be like, well, why the fuck do you keep saying they? It's like it's one person,
right? But they can be referred. But technically, I agree with you. But technically, they can refer to a singular person as well. It doesn't have to necessarily refer to a more than one person. It can be a single person, like you're talking about. Like, so what so and so said. Like somebody asked you a question. Like, so what did John say? Well, they said that blah 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 blah. But you can technically say that, but people would usually say he said or she said, but you can technically say they. It's actually proper to say that too. So it's just like if you ever spoken a different language. I don't know if you speak Spanish or French or anything else. I don't know. But in French, it's like the pronouns are il or elle or ils.
Oh yeah, in Spanish they use they a lot.
Yeah, so it's the same kind of thing. It's just confusing because most people in English don't use that version to refer to one person. But anyway, it was just, he's out, whatever, great for him, good for him, whatever. Okay, let's talk about Andy Cohen replacing Kathy Griffin.
Okay, I want to talk about that, and I want to squeeze something I forgot to mention. But yeah, okay. So I know you're saying that Andy Griffin is replacing Andy Griffin.
Andy Griffin.
Andy Griffin.
Andy Griffin. Yeah.
Is replacing Kathy Griffin during the New Year's Eve thing.
Right.
I'm happy for him. I mean, at the same time, I'm not surprised. I mean, that is Anderson Cooper's like BFF,
right?
So I'm not, and actually they're on tour right now. I think they're doing like a little Q&A type thing.
They were gonna come. It's called AC2, and they were gonna be here. And I've been waiting for them to come in forever because I've been wanting to see them. I kept bitching, saying, "When are you coming to Dallas? When are you coming to Dallas?" Finally, they're coming to Dallas. They're coming in December this year to Dallas, and I was gonna get tickets and. The day I went to get tickets, they were almost all sold out. I mean, like half of them were sold out anyway. The only ones available were like, now the only ones available are like $85 each, which is fine. But they're singular seats. There's like a seat here, a seat way over there, a seat way at the back. So you can't sit with somebody.
If you go with a friend or your husband or something, you have to sit separately.
Yes, I don't want to do that. So that's why I didn't go. But I really wanted to go. But anyway, I didn't.
Actually, want to go too. I want to see both of them. Actually.
Me too. And the VIP tickets were like $375 or something, and then the regular tickets were $85. And so
I'm not paying $375. No. I like them, but not for $375.
Yeah, I know, but whatevs. I would like to see Andy Cohen in person, though. I still think he's attractive. I don't know why.
No, I do too. I think they're both attractive.
I would never want to date him if I were single, though, because he's not somebody who seems like relationship material, and has a really hard time with relationships. Yeah, he has a really hard time with relationships. He's never ever like in a really serious one for very long, and he
just makes me really picky. I mean,
he's extremely picky. He is, and he really likes he likes younger guys. He likes really fit guys and really perfectly good looking guys. He's not really into offbeat looking guys or anything like that. So he's kind of shallow.
He likes bigger guys.
He's shallow. No, he likes guys. I'm saying perfectly fit. Like he likes fit.
Oh, I thought you said. I thought you said thick.
Perfectly fit.
I said, oh my God, I might have a shot.
I mean, he likes black guys. I know that, but he doesn't like guys who are like not athletic or whatever, because he's in really good shape too.
He wants someone who's lean and thin,
and that's okay. I mean,
I'm not fat either, but
he is who he is. And so if I were in his position and I were single, you don't have to settle for anything, then don't. But the problem is he doesn't settle for anything. He just is so, this is just basically what I've heard. And I actually had a friend, her name was, years ago, went to the black tie dinner and in Houston years ago. And, we got sat with Tabitha, what the fuck's her name? Tabitha from, the show, the blonde chick, Tabitha.
Oh, I forgot her name. Is it Coffee?
Tabitha Coffee. Thank you. Yes, we got sat with her.
Yeah, I used to love her show. I love her.
Oh yeah, and she was really cool and everything, whatever. I guess, but she was really very shy and demure until she got up on stage to speak, and she kind of became Tabitha Coffee. It was interesting. But anyway, the point is, she after that happened, whatever, Andy Cohen a few weeks later was there, and she was the ambassador for HRC or something, and he was doing something with them. Anyway, he was there, and he was like going out, and he was having all this sex with all these people, all these other guys, and everything else, and he was just kind of bed hopping around. And she was telling me about it. I'm like, wow. So he's kind of a player, and that's okay. But my point is though, I hope I'm way off track. I'm so sorry. So we're talking about Anderson Cooper and replacing Kathy Griffin. Well, the thing about that annoys me is that Anderson Cooper and Kathy Griffin were also really good friends, right? Until the whole thing with the Trump head thing came up when she had that photograph taken of her. And he came out against Kathy Griffin, who was his friend, Anderson Cooper did, publicly saying that he thought it was in poor taste and she should apologize and blah, 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 and unforgivable and stuff like that. And so she's pissed off at him because she's like, she expects her friends to have her back, and he didn't. And now she's off the show. So they're falling out now. And she actually said about Anderson Cooper, she called him something. It was fucking hilarious. And I cannot find it anymore. But she really called him out because of what he kind of didn't have her back. And so did you think that what she did was so horrible about the whole Trump thing, or what?
It was definitely taking a risk. I'll say that. I mean, she's entitled to do what she wants to do, but it was a risk. I'll just leave it at that. She was taking a risk, but I mean, it's free speech at the same time. So, I mean, when you do stuff like that, you have to know that it's going to be a possibility that there's going to be backlash.
Yes, but did it really merit losing a friend over? Had nothing to do with him. And that's really, to my opinion, she's a comedian. She's outlandish. She's always been like that. And she's a very political. So why would that be anything different than anything else? Because it was the president?
No. I'm saying she's entitled to do what she wants, but when you do something like that, there's going to be some type of backlash. When it's involving any type of politics,
you're not asking my question. You're not answering my
question. There's going to be backlash. Some people.
Oh Lord. Okay, let's just move on.
What's your question?
My question was, why would Anderson Cooper not be friends with her anymore because of that? Why would that affect him, and why would he be so pissed off? He can disagree with her and still be friends with her. You know what I mean? I have plenty of friends I disagree with shit on all the time, including you. People I don't agree with all the time, but I'm still friends with them. So what the fuck what? You know, why would he not be friends with her anymore? That's what I'm saying.
I don't know. I don't know. That's something we have to ask, Andy. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I think it's because he's a fucking wuss and, didn't want to have any heat on his own back because he's Anderson Cooper, and that's what I think. But anyway, I think if he actually, what the fuck is this talking about?
Oh, so while we were on this last week, Equifax had a security breach once again.
Yes.
So then Equifax came out with this thing on how to protect your information. Now, here's my question with Equifax. How the fuck am I going to protect my information if it's already floating out there for the world to take at this point? Like, yeah, I could do, what they call it, a credit alert, but that's not going to stop anything. They already have my information. And then since then, I actually got an email, some spam email that said that it was a fake email that said I owed these people like $2,000, and that was the thing. Now I was like, okay, whatever. But then this fucking email had my social security number, full numbers in this email. So then I was like, okay. So then I just be on the safe side. I called my lawyer, and I put out a credit fraud. I was like, listen, I got an email, and I'm pretty sure they just stole the information from what's floating out there. And I had to call my attorney and be like, listen, I just got this email and it has my social security number and I'm freaking out. And she said, send it to me and I'll work on it, which I did. And she is currently working on it. But I'm thinking to myself, I don't even know how the fuck, I don't know. I don't know if it's for spammers or what, but my social security number was printed on there like plain as day, and it freaked me the fuck out.
I'm sorry.
So, I mean, but my thing is that they're trying to come with these ideas on like how to protect your information. I'm like, how the fuck is anyone supposed to protect their information if it's already out there? Like, what can you do at this point? There's no going back. Like, what the fuck is Equifax talking about?
Well, one of the great things that is coming of the Trump administration is that he has overturned one of Obama's rules that makes it impossible almost to sue the credit companies or the credit card companies or the credit reporting companies or the banks. So now, even if you have a class action lawsuit against them, you can't get any money out of it because they're not going to be able to sue because of that. So good. Thanks, Trump. Yeah. Thank you, Trump.
But here's my thing too. It's also like, if there's been 2 security breaches with the same, credit bureau, I feel like they should give everyone a clean slate and just start over. If everyone's information is being out there twice, you should just whoever has credit issues, you might as well just give them a clean slate and start everybody off at a credit score.
That's not going to happen. So,
because I would love for I would love for my credit score to be 850. It's not 850. It's nowhere close to 850.
Only people who have 850 are people who are, really, 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 really rich, because it's based on, and you're really, really old, because you have to have a really long credit history and a really, really perfect credit history for a long time with a great amount of credit to have an 850 score. Otherwise, you're in the 800s or 700s or less. So, yeah. I
think my mom's is like 7 something.
That's good. That's a good credit score. That's a good credit score.
I think it's like 740 something.
That's good.
It's good. It's good.
Good. We have a minute and a half left. Before we go, everybody, be sure to check us out at gayxyz.com. Reminder that we're going to be on we're going to be on iHeartRadio in a few days. And we shouldn't have this problem with running out of time because I switched over to the other account to do this show, and that's why we're running out of time today. But next week we'll be back with a full show. And if you have any questions, be sure to text us or email us or tweet us or whatever on Facebook or something, and we're happy to talk to you. And you can find Jason at...
You can find me on Instagram. It's Fire and Ice 17. That's Fire and Ice 17.
Me, you can find at donovanlord.net. You can also find me at offlimitshow.com, and you can also find me on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. So be sure and find us there. And thanks for listening, and we'll have a better show for you next week. Have a good night, everybody. Good night.
Good night. Stay gay.